All right, let's get right into it. If you've got a cat, you know you want to do everything you can for them. And one of the biggest and honestly most confusing parts of that is deworming. It's so much more than just a task to check off a list. It's a really critical piece of your cat's overall health plan.
But that's the big question, isn't it? What is the right way to do it? Should you just grab something off the shelf at the pet store? Do you have to wait until you see signs of a problem? It feels complicated, but trust me, getting this right is absolutely essential.
And this is exactly why it's so important. I want you to really let this sink in. We're not talking about a vitamin here. We're giving our cats a substance that is, by definition, a poison. The entire goal is for it to be way more toxic to the worms than it is to our cat. It's a delicate balance, and it just screams for precision and care.
So that brings us to what I'd call the golden rule of this whole playbook. Before you even think about treatment, there is one single, non-negotiable first step. This is the foundation for doing everything safely and effectively. And here it is. You need a precise diagnosis. You know, the thing is, there's no magic pill that kills every kind of worm. Roundworms, tapeworms, hookworms, they all need different, specific medications to knock them out. The only way to know exactly what you're up against is to have a vet look at a stool sample under a microscope. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. Trying to do it yourself is, well, it's a total guessing game. You could easily pick the wrong medicine, which won't work, or worse, could cause a bad reaction. You might even be hiding the symptoms of a totally different illness. But when you go to the vet, you get a targeted treatment that works, a safe dose, and a professional watching over the whole thing. It's really a no-brainer.
Okay, so let's zoom in on the most vulnerable players on the team, kittens. They've got their own chapter in the playbook because they are just so much more susceptible to worms.
So here's the deal. A huge percentage of kittens actually get worms from their mother. So vets don't wait for proof, they go on a proactive schedule. That first dose usually happens when they're just 2 or 3 weeks old. Then another one at 5 to 6 weeks. After that, the common recommendation is to treat them monthly until they hit that 6-month mark, just to keep them safe while they're growing so fast.
But, and this is a huge but, you have to know when to hit the pause button. You should never ever deworm a kitten that isn't feeling 100%. If a little one has diarrhea, feels cold, or is stressed out from, say, changing foods, their body is already working overtime. Adding a dewormer to that mix is just too risky. You have to wait until they're stable and strong.
All right, so what happens when your kitten grows up? Well, the game plan completely changes. We're going to move away from that fixed schedule and start using a much more tailored strategy, one that's based on their specific lifestyle. For adult cats, it really all comes down to how they live. If you have a cat that is strictly indoors, the rule is pretty simple. You only deworm when a stool exam actually finds worms. No evidence, no treatment. But for a cat that goes outside, especially one that likes to hunt, the strategy shifts. Regular checks, maybe once or twice a year, are a really good idea. And sometimes vets will recommend routine deworming just to be safe. And get this, for cats that are prone to tapeworms, which they usually get from fleas, you might need to treat them as often as 4 or 5 times a year. That really shows you why a one-and-done approach just doesn't cut it for adult cats.
And there's one more special case to consider, the breeding queen. To make sure both mom and her future kittens are safe, it is absolutely essential to get her stool checked and clear up any worm issues before she gets pregnant. It just sets her up for the healthiest pregnancy possible.
And this brings us right back to that fundamental concept we started with. Just like with kittens, you never deworm an adult cat that's already sick with something else. Remember, dewormers are poisons. A cat's body that's already weak from fighting another illness might not be strong enough to handle it. So, let's tie all of this together. What is the winning game plan? At the end of the day, it's pretty simple. It's all about being proactive and always letting your vet be your co-pilot.
The whole playbook really boils down to 3 simple steps. 1. Diagnose. Always start with that vet stool exam. 2. Tailor. Use the right treatment based on your cat's specific age and lifestyle. And 3. Monitor. Keep up with regular checks and always be on the lookout for any signs of trouble. That's it. That's the formula.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. Think about your own cat and your current routine. Now that you know the playbook, is your cat's preventative health plan really, truly complete? It's a question worth asking for any of us who want the best for our pets.